Imagine, for a moment, that you could step into a time machine and travel back to the very first century, to the streets of Jerusalem just after the resurrection.
Oh, that's a fascinating thought, a truly incredible journey to consider, my friend.
Now, picture yourself walking into a church service there, a gathering of Jesus's earliest followers.
I'm picturing it, a small, humble room, probably.
Here's the truly wild part. What if I told you that there's one branch of Christianity today where, if you walked into their church, you'd recognize almost everything from that ancient service?
Wait, no way. You're saying a 21st century church could be nearly identical to one from 33 AD? That sounds impossible, my dear man.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Most people think of Christianity as having changed and evolved dramatically over 2 millennia, and in many ways, it has.
Well, of course it has. Think of all the different denominations we see just in our lifetimes. It's practically impossible to imagine otherwise.
But there's a secret history, a hidden continuity that very few ever truly uncover.
A secret history? Now you've really got my curiosity piqued, my friend. Tell me more, what are you getting at?
It all started in the East, not Rome, not even really in modern Europe, but in places like Antioch, Alexandria, and especially Constantinople.
So, you're talking about the early church, the one with the apostles, right? But then what happened?
Exactly. For the first 1,000 years, Christianity was essentially unified, a single, unbroken tapestry of faith woven across the Roman Empire.
And then it broke, didn't it? The Great Schism, is that what you're hinting at?
Precisely. Imagine a mighty river, flowing for centuries, pure and undivided. Then, around the year 1054 AD, a massive rock falls, splitting the river into 2 main currents.
So one current went west, toward Rome, and the other stayed east, right? But which one kept the original flow?
That's the absolutely crucial question. The Western current, led by Rome, began to introduce new theological concepts and practices over time.
New concepts? Like what? My understanding was that they both just evolved differently.
Think of it like a family heirloom. The Eastern current, what we now call Orthodox Christianity, made it their absolute mission to guard that heirloom, untouched, unchanged.
So, while the West was adding new facets, the East was fiercely preserving the original design, the very first blueprint?
You got it. They believed that altering the ancient faith, even in seemingly small ways, was to lose something vital, something from Christ himself and his apostles.
That's a powerful idea, but how do we know it's truly original? How can we be sure they didn't change anything themselves?
That's the beauty of it. We have the writings of the early church fathers, the liturgy itself, the very prayers and hymns from centuries before the schism.
So, it's almost like an archaeological dig, uncovering layers of tradition, but finding the deepest layer is still active today.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. If you attend an Orthodox liturgy today, you're participating in a service that is virtually identical in structure, prayers, and theology to one celebrated in Byzantium over 1,000 years ago.
That's mind-blowing. So, the Orthodox Church isn't just old, it's deliberately, consciously, and historically unchanged in its core.
It's like finding a living fossil, a direct, unbroken spiritual lineage from the apostles themselves.
So, when you ask, why is Orthodox Christianity the only original Christianity, it's because, in their view, they never left that original riverbed, did they?
They truly see themselves as the continuing stream, the ancient church in a modern world, preserving the very first faith given to us.
That's an absolutely incredible story, my friend, a powerful testament to continuity and tradition.
It makes you wonder what else we've forgotten, doesn't it?